June 6, 1944 dawned like any other day. The sky was painted with hues of orange and pink as the sun began its ascent over the horizon. The world seemed calm, almost serene, as if unaware of the monumental events about to unfold. But this day would be anything but ordinary. For thousands of soldiers, it was the day they had been training and preparing for, the day they would face their greatest challenge. The air was thick with anticipation and anxiety as they readied themselves for the battle ahead. This was D-Day, the day the Allied forces launched the largest seaborne invasion in history. The vast armada of ships and landing crafts moved steadily towards the shores of Normandy, carrying with them the hopes and dreams of a world yearning for peace. Operation Overlord, as it was known, was the culmination of years of planning and preparation. The meticulous strategies, the countless hours of training, and the unwavering determination of the Allied forces all led to this pivotal moment. Its goal: to liberate Europe from Nazi tyranny. The oppressive regime had cast a dark shadow over the continent, and the time had come to reclaim the light of freedom and justice. The stakes were incredibly high. The success or failure of this operation would determine the course of the war and the future of countless lives. Every decision, every action carried immense weight. The outcome of World War II, the fate of freedom itself, hung in the balance. The world watched with bated breath, knowing that the events of this day would shape the destiny of nations. On that day, thousands of brave soldiers, sailors and airmen would risk their lives for a chance to strike a blow against oppression. They came from different backgrounds, different countries, but they were united by a common cause. They would face fierce resistance, unimaginable danger, and the very real possibility of death. The beaches of Normandy would become a battleground, a place where courage and sacrifice would be tested to their limits. Yet they pressed on, driven by a shared belief in a better tomorrow. The determination in their eyes, the resolve in their hearts, spoke volumes about their unwavering commitment to the cause. D-Day was a turning point in the war, a testament to the courage of the human spirit, and a day that would forever be etched in the annals of history. The bravery and resilience displayed on that day would inspire generations to come. It is a day we must never forget. The sacrifices made, the lives lost, and the triumphs achieved on D-Day serve as a powerful reminder of the cost of freedom and the enduring strength of the human spirit. The invasion of Normandy was a massive undertaking requiring meticulous planning and coordination. Behind the scenes, a team of brilliant minds worked tirelessly to ensure the operation's success. General Dwight D. Eisenhower, the Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force, oversaw the entire operation.
The plan, codenamed Operation Overlord, was shrouded in secrecy. Every detail, from the landing beaches to the timing of the assault, was carefully guarded. The Allies knew that surprise was crucial to their success.
Months were spent gathering intelligence, studying maps, and rehearsing the landings. The pressure was immense, but the Allied planners rose to the challenge, their dedication and expertise laying the groundwork for what would become a pivotal victory in the war against Nazi Germany. The fate of millions rested on their shoulders. The invasion force was a truly global effort, a testament to the international alliance against Nazi aggression. Soldiers from the United States, Great Britain, Canada, and other allied nations stood shoulder to shoulder, united in their determination to liberate Europe. Each nation played a vital role in the operation. American forces were instrumental in the landings at Utah and Omaha beaches. British and Canadian troops faced fierce resistance at Gold, Juno, and Sword beaches. From the air, Allied airmen provided crucial support, bombing German defences and disrupting enemy communications. On the sea, a vast armada of ships ferried troops and supplies across the English Channel, braving treacherous waters and enemy fire. D-Day was a truly international effort, a testament to the power of unity in the face of tyranny. As dawn approached, the first wave of the invasion began. Under the cover of darkness, thousands of paratroopers boarded their planes, their faces etched with a mix of apprehension and determination. Their mission was perilous: to land behind enemy lines, secure key bridges and crossroads, and disrupt German defenses.
The paratroopers jumped into the night sky, their parachutes blossoming like giant flowers against the moonlit clouds. They landed in fields, villages, and even on top of enemy positions. Confusion reigned as the Germans struggled to understand the scale and objectives of the airborne assault.
The paratroopers fought with courage and tenacity, securing their objectives and paving the way for the main landings at dawn. Their bravery and sacrifice played a crucial role in the success of the invasion. As the sun rose over the English Channel, the largest naval armada the world had ever seen approached the beaches of Normandy. Battleships, cruisers, destroyers and landing craft stretched as far as the eye could see. The thunderous roar of naval guns signaled the start of the main assault.
Thousands of troops, loaded down with weapons and equipment, scrambled down the ramps of their landing craft and into the churning surf. We faced a maelstrom of fire. German machine guns, mortars and artillery rained down on the beaches, turning the sand red with blood. But we pressed on, our courage and determination fueled by a belief in the righteousness of our cause. The fate of the free world hung in the balance as we fought our way ashore.
The fighting on the beaches was fierce and unrelenting. The air was filled with the deafening sounds of gunfire and explosions. As soldiers braved the storm of bullets and shrapnel, the chaos was unimaginable, with every inch of sand becoming a battleground. At Omaha Beach, American troops faced some of the toughest resistance. The German defenses were formidable, with well-placed machine gun nests and artillery raining down on the advancing soldiers. The beach was a deadly gauntlet, and every step forward was met with fierce opposition. The beach was heavily fortified, and the Germans were well prepared. Bunkers and obstacles littered the shoreline, creating a deadly maze for the invading forces. The defenders had spent years preparing for this moment, and their positions were nearly impregnable. Casualties were heavy, and for a time it seemed as if the invasion might be thrown back into the sea. The medics worked tirelessly, treating the wounded amidst the chaos. The cost of each advance was measured in lives, and the beach was stained with the blood of countless soldiers.
But the American soldiers refused to give up. Their resolve was unshakable, and they pressed on with determination. Despite the overwhelming odds, they continued to push forward, driven by a sense of duty and camaraderie. They fought their way off the beach inch by bloody inch, their courage and determination eventually overcoming the tenacious German defense. The close-quarters combat was brutal, with every inch gained through sheer grit and bravery. The soldiers' relentless spirit turned the tide of the battle. On the other beaches, we also faced stiff resistance. The British and Canadian troops encountered fierce opposition as they landed on Juno and Sword beaches. The enemy was well entrenched, and the fighting was intense. But we too fought with bravery and skill, gradually pushing inland and securing our objectives. The advance was slow and arduous, with every hedgerow and village becoming a new battleground. The determination of the Allied forces was unwavering, and they pressed on despite the challenges.
We were prepared for the invasion, but the ferocity and determination of the Allied soldiers were overwhelming. The sheer scale of the assault and the relentless drive of the troops took us by surprise. The bravery displayed by the soldiers was beyond anything we had anticipated. Despite our efforts, they broke through our defenses and continued their advance. The once formidable fortifications crumbled under the relentless assault. The Allied forces moved past the destroyed bunkers, pushing deeper into occupied territory. The battle for Normandy had only just begun, but the resolve of the Allied soldiers was clear. They would not be stopped.
D-Day was a day of both triumph and tragedy. The Allies achieved a stunning victory, establishing a foothold in Nazi-occupied France. But the victory came at a terrible cost. Thousands of Allied soldiers were killed or wounded on the beaches of Normandy.
The beaches were littered with the bodies of fallen soldiers, a stark reminder of the human cost of war. The sacrifices made on that day should never be forgotten. The men who fought and died on D-Day were heroes, everyone. They gave their lives so that others could live free. Their bravery and sacrifice helped to liberate Europe from tyranny and shape the course of history.
The Normandy landings were a turning point in World War II. On June 6, 1944, the Allied forces launched one of the largest amphibious military assaults in history. This day, known as D-Day, saw over 156,000 American, British and Canadian forces landing on 5 beachheads in Normandy, France. The operation was meticulously planned and executed, involving months of preparation and deception tactics to mislead the Germans about the invasion location. With the establishment of a beachhead in France, the Allies were able to pour men and material into Europe, eventually liberating France and pushing into Germany itself. The success of the Normandy landings allowed the Allies to establish a crucial foothold in Europe, which enabled them to launch further operations to liberate occupied territories. The logistics of moving such a vast number of troops and equipment were staggering, but the determination and bravery of the soldiers made it possible. The D-Day invasion marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. The fierce battles that ensued on the beaches and the subsequent push inland were critical in weakening German defences. The courage displayed by the soldiers who stormed the beaches under heavy fire was nothing short of heroic. Their actions paved the way for the eventual defeat of the Nazi regime. It showed the world that Hitler's forces could be defeated. The destruction of Nazi fortifications and the capture of German soldiers were clear signs that the tide of war was turning. The success of the Normandy landings boosted the morale of the Allied forces and the occupied nations, proving that liberation was possible. It gave hope to the millions living under Nazi occupation. The liberation of towns and cities across France was met with joyous celebrations. French civilians welcomed the Allied troops as heroes, and the sight of liberated towns brought renewed hope to those who had suffered under Nazi rule. The impact of D-Day was felt far beyond the battlefield, as it inspired resistance movements and strengthened the resolve of the Allied nations. The legacy of D-Day is one of courage, sacrifice, and the triumph of freedom over tyranny. The bravery of the soldiers who fought and the sacrifices they made are commemorated in memorials and cemeteries across Normandy. These sites serve as a poignant reminder of the cost of freedom and the enduring spirit of those who fought for it. The stories of individual heroism and collective effort continue to inspire generations. It is a day that will forever be remembered as a testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome even the most daunting of challenges. The veterans who return to Normandy each year to commemorate D-Day are living testaments to the resilience and determination that defined the operation. Their stories of overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles serve as powerful reminders of what can be achieved through unity and courage. The lessons of D-Day must never be forgotten. Educational programs, documentaries and museum exhibits play a crucial role in preserving the history of D-Day and ensuring that future generations understand its significance. These resources help to keep the memory of the sacrifices made alive and provide valuable lessons on the importance of freedom, bravery and the fight against tyranny. We must always remember the sacrifices made on that day and strive to build a world where such conflicts are never repeated. The memorials and ceremonies honouring D-Day veterans serve as a solemn reminder of the cost of war and the importance of peace. By remembering the past, we can work towards a future where the horrors of war are never repeated and the values of freedom and justice prevail.